Greetings, everybody. My name is Blake Briscoe. I'm a sports business major at SFA. Hope you guys are all having a great summer. This summer, I've chosen to take part in the Learning from Leaders Scholarship Competition. Now, the book that I chose is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. It was recommended by Mike Parham, who graduated from SFA with a BBA in finance back in 1980. And since then, he's been the CEO and president of Briscoe Sales and Marketing for over 39 years. So I definitely think it's safe to say that he knows a thing or two when he's talking about business. Now, he said that this book, regardless of whether you're trying to get a job, already have a job, regardless of where you're at, it's going to help you out. Now, you'll notice that my copy of it here is kind of weathered, kind of worn and used looking. That's because it is. I actually already had it. My dad got it from a business seminar back in the day and said that it was a good read. So I figured I would go ahead and choose it. I can safely say it definitely was a good read. I would recommend it to other people. Today in business especially, you can be the smartest person in the room. That will get you halfway, but you also need to be able to form strong relationships with other people, and that'll get you the rest of the way. So this book really dives into that and tells you how to form those strong relationships, how to get people to do what you want them to do. And a lot of it is things that you already know deep down subconsciously, like common sense things that we already know, but we rarely act on it and do it on a day-to-day basis. For example, one of the things it says is if you want somebody to do something that you want, make them want to do it, obviously without blackmailing them, but it's not often that we consciously put ourselves in that person's shoes and think of what we can do to make them want to do that. Especially today, we're so focused on impressing other people. We're so focused on ourselves with trying to buy cars that we can't afford and impress people on Instagram and stuff. Everyone's so focused on making themselves look great. They talk about themselves. That's all a lot of people do, talk about their accomplishments, talk about themselves. What people really notice is when you take interest in them. Be as interested in other people as they are in themselves, and people notice you. That's what this book talks about. It's one of the big key things it says. One line that really stuck out to me in this book is, you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming interested in other people than you can in 2 years by trying to get other people interested in you. I thought that line was great and really powerful on it personally, especially in today's world. Everybody has these passions and stuff that they love to talk about. And if you just ask them questions on it and show interest, you can go on and on having a conversation with somebody. One of the examples from the book, it talked about Teddy Roosevelt back when he was president. Before he would have a guest the next day, he would stay up late the night before and research what that person was interested in. He'd stay up late researching that topic, and the next day he would talk about that topic with that person. So he's finding out what interests that person, and he converses with them. And some other great conversationalists that Dale Carnegie talks about in the book, someone who is known for being a great conversationalist, but he actually rarely ever spoke. He would just show interest in what the other person was saying, show that he was fascinated with how much they knew about it, etc., and just ask questions, like be interested in what they're saying. I think that really goes a long way today, especially in today's business world. So how could you apply this in today's world? Well, the book goes into that again and again and again. For example, one instance, there's a spokesman in the book who he rents out a ballroom at a hotel, and it was supposed to be like $50 a night. It was originally, and the hotel jacked it up to like $250 a night. Obviously, he wants it to be $50 a night, but he doesn't even go to the hotel and ask them to change it. All he does, without ever even asking them to change it, he just looks at it from their point of view, approaches it that way in his letter to them, then lays out the pros and cons for having his business there, and says that he doesn't think that he can do it at the $250 price that they've said, and then just tells them that he wishes they consider the pros and cons list. And sure enough, they drop it down to that $50 price. He never even asked them to lower the price. Never asked the actual question, and they did it. What he did was he made them want to do it. There's so many things like that in this book, real life business scenarios that the book goes into that show you how it can be applied in business. Another example, someone was trying to sell something to a certain branch or certain business, and he couldn't for years. And then one day he was in a debate with someone talking about whether that business did more good or bad for the community. And so he went in and to gather data, gather information on them, went in, talked with their CEO and asked them some questions. He showed interest in them. And the CEO went on and easily gave him information on their business. And sure enough, a couple weeks later, CEO comes into the guy's shop and is asking him about, it was a bakery, asking him about some of the baked goods that he had and was interested in trying some out. So there's many things like that, but ultimately, I think if I wanted to encompass the majority of the book in one sentence, it would be treat people the way that you want to be treated, or just put yourself in the other person's shoes. That, at the end of the day, goes a long way. For example, if you remember somebody's name, that's going to go a long way. If you have a conversation with someone and a month later you run into them and you remember their name, remember what you talked about with them, you follow up on whatever it may be, their kids, the project they were working on, show that you were a good listener, people take notice. And in today's world, that definitely helps you out in business to form those relationships. So I would definitely recommend this book to anybody looking to further expand their mind or develop themselves as a businessman. And I'd like to thank the Rush Business Program for this Learning from Leaders Scholarship competition, because it really encourages people to read in a case that they might not otherwise do so. And the famous saying is, the more you learn, the more you earn. That's how the saying goes. And some of the most successful people are constantly reading. And so I definitely thought that this book helped me develop personally as a individual. And I encourage others to do so as well. So that's all that I have for this video. Again, please like the video and share the video. It helps me out with the competition. The more likes and shares that the video gets and stuff, the more my chances of winning the competition go up. So please like the video, share the video. That's all for me today. Thank you very much.